Welcome back guys, this is Shrikant. This is day 10 of our series Learn SQL with Shrikant. In this tutorial we are going to talk about SQL operators. What are different operators and what is its use, we will going to talk in detail with this video. What are SQL operators? These are the tools used in a SQL to perform the operations on a data. So when you want to perform some kind of arithmetic operation or some kind of bitwise or some kind of character searching, so different kind of operation we can perform on the data. So there are a few sets of operator which we have in the SQL, which we are going to learn in the next line. What are the different type of SQL operators? We basically have 6 important type of SQL operators. The first is arithmetic operators, then comparison operators, then logical operators, bitwise operators, set operators, and miscellaneous operators. Let's understand one by one. So we are going to talk about first type of operators in a SQL, that is a arithmetic. Here we have few important operators like addition. So whenever you want to perform some kind of addition on the data, the data means basically value would be present in a column or some variable. Now in this one we'll just focus on addition, then subtraction, then if you want to perform the multiplication of the 2 column or 3 column of any numbers, then division, modulus. So all those operators come under the category called as the arithmetic operators. Perfect. This is the example query. For example, you want to do addition, then how would you do that? Then you have select salary plus bonus. So these are the 2 column from the table from the employee. Then if you are passing plus, then you are doing addition. If you are passing minus instead of plus, then that's a subtraction. Then all the mathematical rule will be followed. Let's jump to the demonstration. So for demonstration purpose, I am going to create a database, a fresh database. Create database demo. Right. So it is already present. So I'm going to create demo August 2024. Select it, create it. The table has been created. Perfect. Then just use that database. How would you use that? Just pass the use command. When you do that, you would be enter into that respective database. Now we are going to create a table called as employee. Very simple. We are going to create a table called as employee. The first column is EMP having the data type in. Another column is called as a salary, which will be having a money kind of data. You can use money, decimal, or any column, whatever you want, but it should store the money data. Perfect. Then we are again having one more column called as the bonus. Then we are going to finish this statement and we are going to create the table. What will happen the moment we will execute this query? A table will be created and we are going to verify the data from the table. So what will we get? We will get nothing in the table because we haven't loaded it. So what we will be doing now, we are going to load the data in the column. So how would we do that? We are having a insert command. So we will write a statement insert into, very simple. Then just pass the column here, then write a values. I'm going to add a 2 record, the first for the first employee ID, then salary is 2000 and he received the bonus of 200. Then I'm going to add one more entry. How would I do that? Simply instead of 1 I'm going to load for second employee and his salary is 3000 and he received the bonus of 300. Perfect. Now what we are going to do? We are going to verify the syntax is correct, insert into table name, then the column name, then the records. Perfect. Now the 2 record has been loaded successfully. So what we will do, we will going just hit the query and we'll see 2 record has been loaded. Now as we came for the demonstration of the arithmetic operator, see I know this is very simple but we are starting from the scratch, so please bear with me. Now I want to see my requirement, I want to see all the columns. Okay, that's fine. Then I want to sum the salary and the bonus, which would be on the fly, which is not stored anywhere. So how would I do that? Just pass the plus sign for any numbers or any column, whatever you want. So if I do that, what will I get? I would get 2200, 2200, then 3000, then 300, 3300, right? But if you observe carefully, the name is not there, so we will provide some alias. Don't worry, we'll talk about this alias. So I'm just giving salary, then bonus, right? So this is the column. Perfect. Now this is my addition query. Now my requirement is I want to understand the minus thing, subtraction. So simply just replace plus with a minus, then see the difference would be calculated. Then instead of star minus, I'm going to apply the star. What will happen? The multiplication will happen, then this will be number. Then the last thing which we are going to talk is basically the modulo operator. So when we pass this operator modulo, what will happen? See, we got a 0 0 because 200 basically can be divided by 300. Now for this demonstration, what we are going to do, we are going to add two more entry here on the fly, but that would be something different. So when I talk about this 200, I receive, let's say, I got three, just bonus 300, and this is basically, let's say, 500 or 400, let's say. I want to show you a demonstration for this. So let's say employee is 3 and this is 4. That's fine, just load the data. Now we were talking about the modulo operator, just run it. See, we got something, right? 200, 360. What does that? So when you divide 2000 by 300, so what will happen? 300, 600, 900, right? So then 1200, 1500, 1800. The next thing is 2100, but our value is basically 2000. So what's the reminder? Reminder is basically 1800 minus 2000, that's a 2000. So likewise, if you divide 3000 by 440, you would get reminder as a 360. So modulo operator will give you reminders. So I hope you guys understood the live different live understanding of live practical of this arithmetic operator. Let's go back to the presentation. So second category of the operator are called as the comparison operators. So we basically have equal, we basically have not equal to. This can be written two ways. Either you can write, you can use the negative this symbol and equal to, or less than equal, less than greater than sign. That is called as a not equal. So equal, not equal, not equal, then greater than. This symbol is called as a greater than, then less than, right? Greater than, less than, greater than, or equal to, less than, or equal to. So these are operators, this kind of operator, like these are comparison operator. If I say I have one number and I have another number, I want to compare that. How I can do that? I can simply go and I can just pass the operator called as equal, and I can do the comparison. If I said I want to find out something like this employee, I want to find out the employee where salary is less than 50,000. So you need to use what? You need to use a comparison operator called as the less than. If I say I want to see all the employee whose salary is greater than, then you need to go with a greater than sign. If I said I want to see all the employee whose salary is greater than or equal to means that value, and or greater than that. These are all basically all the mathematical operator which you will understand. Now this is the simple query we for the demonstration. So where we can see, where we can write this kind of comparison in the select, also in the where. But for time being, for the demonstration, I'm going to show you here this comparison thing in the where. So what will happen? The filter or data filtration will happen, and you will understand where we can use that. Perfect. Now we will use the same table whatever we discussed in our last demonstration. So what is our table? This table. Now the first operator is called as the employee. So what I'm going to tell, I'm going to say when my employee ID is equal to 1, then I want to see the data. So if we want to filter the data, how would you do that? You would go with a where clause. And how you will write the query? You will simply write the query like emp where emp ID is equal to 1. So what will happen when I pass this query? I will only see those record which basically satisfy this condition. For any data, when this condition will satisfy, then only it will come. So equal means when the value is equal. That's how it will work. Perfect. Then the next thing is basically next operator is basically greater than. So what will happen, in this case you would see, all the records where EMP ID is greater than 1. So except 1 you would see all 2, 3, 4, right? So this is the greater than. Greater than means except that value, greater value except yeah, like that it will work. Then the next thing is basically we have again one more sign called as greater than equal to. In this case what will happen, it will show you all the record which are basically greater than the 1 and which are basically greater than 1 and equal to. That's the reason you can, here it could be anything, I'm just giving you 2. For example, instead of writing here, let's say you are writing 2, what will happen, it will give you record where PMP ID is equal to 2 and greater than that. Perfect. Now the next thing is we are going to talk the same thing will be happen for less than. So instead of greater than, I'm going to use a less than sign. Then same thing, less than equal to. Let's see what will happen. So see, when I say less than, so there is nothing less than 1. So instead of 1 I'm just passing 2, I would get a 1, right? Now what I'm going to do, instead of, yeah, we already used that, what will happen in this case, we'll get 2 and 1, right? Like this it will work, right? Then let's hope we covered all this, all those stuff. We also have to verify this one. We can check not equal to also. I think that is left, right? Yeah. Some simple, right? It's very simple. How will we write? We'll simply write this simple, less than or greater than. That is how we can show it should not be. So where UMP ID is equal to 2, except that record, it will show everything, right? There is a one more way we can write, right? So as we discussed, instead of that symbol, if you feel no, I want to use something more fancy, how would I do that? Not equal to. This symbol is called as a not, and both will give you same record, right? 1, 2, 3, like this. Okay, let's go. I hope you understood this. Let's go back to the demo presentation now. So third kind of operators called as the logical operator. We have and or not. So when you have to join multiple condition, when you have to filter the data based on the multiple condition, you need to go with and. When you say and means both conditions should be true. When you say or, then both condition might be, one, if one condition satisfied, another failed, that's fine, 1 or 0. See, these are all the logical things which you can get over the net. I think I don't want to waste you guys your time, so I'm just focusing on how we can frame this with a query. Now let's talk about logical operator. Now just go back to the demonstration. So for example, I'm going to write something like that, AMP ID is equal to, instead of EMT ID, now we will use some more condition. Let's say where balance, where no, where bonus is something like, where bonus is greater than, what's the minimum value, 4400, sorry, 440. So where bonus is 440. Now my requirement is, see here one more thing. Now we basically have 4 records, correct, but we pass this condition, so that's the reason we got this. Now what I am going to do, I am going to frame the condition with the logical operator. Now I am writing here and, which means that both the conditions should satisfy. What I am writing here, I am writing where EMP ID and EMP ID equal to 1. Now see, I have written 2 conditions. So this is a one condition, I am just giving a bracket to understand this is a one condition. Then I can write the another condition in another bracket like this. So these are basically 2 conditions. Likewise many conditions can be happen, but when the actual result will be validated, it will verify that what is the value, true or false. So I can say this and this. So just run this query. Now what will happen, now see, we basically have, okay, now we have multiple records here. Perfect. Now if I run this query like this, because we ran some query in between, so what we will do, actually we will simply first truncate this table once again. That will be very easy. and just load the data. How we can load? We basically have this 2 record here, and we have 2 record here, so total 4 records, correct? Perfect. Now when I run this one, I would see how many record? 1 record. But when I see, select start frame, I would see 4 record. Why I got 4 actually here? We got a 4 because it is only just checking. So this is true, that is fine. Then it will also check for other condition. So when all the condition are true, then that's the reason. And you guys know, because you guys are engineers, so you know what is the meaning of this true and false statement, logical operator, how to use that. Okay, hope you understand how to use. Instead of and, I'm going to use now or. Now it says, see what will happen. So or will check any of the conditions should be satisfied. So first it will verify for this. If this is satisfied, then it will bring down all, and if that is also satisfied, it will also bring down all. So when I run that, I will get 1 because it is following this condition. Only the one condition is not coming because this bonus is less than, sorry, greater than 440, right? That's the reason it will verify all those things. Hope you guys understood. And or and not. Not we have not discussed. Not is also very simple. So see, now we have written a condition like this. Sorry, if you run this query, what will happen? You receive 3 records, right? Now my requirement is basically, if I said not here, so see how many record we have. We basically have 1 2 3 4. I am saying wherever this condition is matching or this condition is satisfying, just ignore that record. So basically 3 records. So if I remove this not and running the query, what will happen? I will get 3 record, and if I just add this and not, right, so it will exclude all those one which basically satisfied this condition. So simply run it. Yeah, we got this 4. Hope you guys understood the logical operator. As you guys are engineer, and I'm definitely sure you guys know what are the logical operator and what's their meaning. My intention was to show you how to use it in a query. Perfect. Next is basically bitwise operator. These bitwise operators are used when when we do some kind of logical calculation. So for example, if I'm writing select 5 comma 3, what will happen? Now just me show you practically. These are all digital system kind of thing. 5 and 3, you got a 1, right? Let's understand. So let's understand, this is a 100, and this is 264. So it basically do the it basically do some kind of bitwise calculation, which you need to learn how this bitwise calculation be used. But if you want to use it in a select query, you can use it. I don't want to make it more complicated here. Basically just to tell you, this is a one kind of category which we can use and which we can perform while writing the query. Perfect. You can get all this information over the net, and I think you already studied this how to use it. But mostly we don't use such kind of bitwise operator. We mostly use comparison arithmetic operator. Let's move to the next category. Next category is also very important. That's a set operators. We basically have union, all, then intersect and except. Then how basically we go with that? So set operator are used basically to merge the different queries and to merge the data. When I say unions means basically you have a one table there, we have 4 column, and you have another table which also has a 4 column. Now your requirement is basically you want to merge both the table, then you can simply go and use with a union basically show you the distinct record, which we'll talk in the next session what is distinct. Then union all means basically it won't perform any kind of sorting, merging, anything. It will simply show you how many records you are passing, that numbers it will be showing. That's called union all. Then the next is intersect. Intersect means basically it will show you the common record, which records are common, it will just show you. Except means which record which are uh, not present in second one but present in first one, that kind of thing it will show. Now I'm going to show you practically how we can use the union operator. So let's go back to the demonstration here. Now we actually have one table called as the employee. Now when you run it, how many records you have? You have basically 4 records. Now my requirement is I want to see the duplicate rows here. So how I do that? Simply I will just write a union. You can perform union on any table provided condition is basically the number of column and the data type of those columns should match exactly with the other one. Now here I'm just writing a union clause. So what I did, I used the first table, I used the second table. Don't worry about the name. Imagine the data. So this is my one data set select star from employee, and this is my another data set select star from employee. Maybe if you want to create, maybe we can create one more table for you. So simply just employee one here. Instead of employee, I'm going to create another table. Let's say this one, employee one, right? The same structure here. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to load a single record here. So how my record, I'm instead of I think 4 I have loaded, so I'm loading fifth one. So I'm going to change this table here, just loading a single record. Now in the employee table, if I see the data, I can see 4 record, and the employee one, I'm going to see how many record. I'm going to see a single record like this, correct? Now my requirement is basically I want to merge this 4 and the 5. So how I do that? So simply I will use this select star from this table. The best practice is basically you should use the column name, so there would not be any confusion. So we are going to use these column names, right? Because as I said, column name should be same, and provided their data type should also be same. Now this is the employee table, perfect, and there is a one more table we just created, that's employee one, right? Now when I just run it without any union, I would see this 4 and 5 now, but these are two different data set. My requirement is basically I want to merge this data, I want to see in a one data set. So how I do that? You would simply go with a user set operator. So if you use union, you would see something like this. Perfect. Now this is the one. Union also do the same thing, but it won't show you distinct record. In the next chapter, next video, we'll talk about the union, then your question will be solved. Now the next thing is basically I'm going to use intersect. Intersect will give you the common record. So I don't think there is a common, that's the reason we don't have anything, right? Now next thing is except, that's a set operator. When we you pass the except, what will happen? It will just compare that is that record present or not. So what, for the demonstration purpose, what I am going to do now, see, I am just executing this query. Here we basically have 4 record, here basically we have a single record, but the thing is all are different one, right? Now I am going to do what? I am going to load this 3 employee ID 3 into the employee table. Where is my insert query? My insert query here is here, right? So I am going to simply run it. Now I'm going back and running the same query again. What will happen? It will ignore 3. Reason is why? Because that's a unique. So now if you run with the intersect and if you run the query, what will you get? You will get that record now 3, right? So that is called as the which operator? State operators. Hope you guys understood. Next is basically miscellaneous operator. Like sometime we have a date and we need to find out some kind of data which basically follow in between that range. Then we go with a between. Then we need to also we have also in. Then we have like. So these are very important. We will take a separate video on all this video because these are very important. But for time being, I am going to tell you how to use that. So let's jump back to the presentation. Here my requirement is basically I want to see those EMP ID which are actually 1 or 2. So simply I would just pass the EMP ID column, then I will use in operator 1 comma 2. This is how the syntax for the in. What will happen? It will, if instead of 2 if I remove this, what will happen? I will get a record for a 1, which means basically what is happened, which means basically whatever the value for the condition, if this condition satisfied, then only you will get data. This is how we need to use in. Then for example, if I am going to use a between, it has a syntax like as it said, it is basically for the range. So I am saying the when the employee ID is between 1 and the last employee ID is a 3, right? So what will happen? It will take the it will basically take the EMP ID 1 and the last EMP ID it will take as a 3. So basically it's just a range, it will select the range, correct? Then the next is basically which is also important is null. Simply if you want to ignore or if you just want the null data, you can simply write with the is null. That is also one kind of operator. The next thing is basically, and I would say that should be last for this demonstration, it's a like. So for example, like will basically work on a string character. Now in this table we don't have any like here, so I'm just telling you the syntax, but it really require one total video, so don't worry about that. So like here you need to just simply pass the column name. I'm just passing the column name here for example, but this will not work. Then you need to use a like, and you just need to provide the pattern of how you want to find. So my requirement, it should have something like SHR Shrikant, right? So simply you can use this one, but you want to something find out the in between, wherever it is in between, right? So you can go with a modulo sign. Then how like this it will work. Don't worry about this. Like operator is very important, so we'll take one more video. But this is just to show you how this will work. Now this will not work because this is the integer and there is nothing like Shrikant in any value for the bonus, right? So this is how this operator will work, right? So hope you guys enjoyed our video related with the SQL operator, and if you really have any question, please comment over the comment section. We really require your comment in the comment section. Either it could be smiley or that's fine. We don't require text, full text comment. We just simply, if you provide a smiley also, that's fine for us. That will motivate us and let us know that you guys are watching it, and it will give us motivation that okay, we need to create few more videos and to finish this series. And really thankful for watching this series, and have a great day ahead. Bye. Thank you.